Quarter Life Critics.
QLC.
Woo woo! Today is July 17th. Bit of a hiatus, but we are still here today, and I am sitting next to, virtually, my two best friends. Grant.
I'm your virtual best friend?
We're sitting virtually.
Hello.
And yeah, you are my virtual best friend. So that goes all the way under every other real life friend.
I'm sitting next to you virtually my best
your
friend.
best friends virtually. So
I get it. I know.
So
I was.
No, it's a fact. And Patrick, my real best friend.
Oh yes.
Eat it, who I'm sitting next to physically.
Yeah,
we're so tight.
Touch my toes.
Ooh, I touched them. We are Quarter Life Critics, the only show where we review the best TV and film the world has to offer. And today we got a good one. It's been 3 weeks, I think, since our last episode. So
first, can we shout out our sponsors?
Exactly. We got some housekeeping to do. So did you have something? Grant, why don't you do our duty?
Well, our sponsors this week is the one and the only Liquid Death. So for those who want a nice bevy, sometimes you just want a bevy, but you don't want alcohol. And as Kahlua
what's a bevy? I'm confused.
So it's just it's a beverage.
Oh,
it's
a
nice beverage.
Okay. I'm old. Okay.
And as the reason why, Kahlua has changed their Kahlua, the coffee rum liqueur. Well, in the UK, they decreased their ABV from 20% to 16% because they said consumers these days want a light, nice beverage without too much alcohol. They are health conscious. So all the millennials and Gen Zs out there don't like to drink. So instead, they drink things like Liquid Death. So
what
everyone,
was the alcohol?
Kahlua.
Right. How's it related to Liquid Death?
Because buy Kahlua instead of Liquid Death?
No.
You're gonna
Kahlua has decreased their ABV from 20% to 16% because they have done market research and the youngins want. This is their reason. I think they're just trying to save money. But their reasoning is there's health conscious youngins that want a light bevy with 4% less ABV.
This guy might need some PR training. I don't know if you're like our sponsor Nike. Under Armour does a great thing.
Yeah, what is the name of the alcohol?
I'm giving you an example of market research done by we love Kahlua, but what is something that has zero ABV, not 16%, zero?
Water.
I introduce you Liquid Death. And please hold up your can if you've been drinking some Liquid Death.
Oh,
Quinn?
Can
you hold up your can of Liquid Death?
I have dog treats.
Oh. I think Quinn's screwing up the sponsorship.
I
have my can.
I didn't get the memo. I was I thought you were saying Kahlua. I mean, like Killua from like X Hunter. So I was all messed up, and then that's how I forgot my can. So
sorry for throwing you off. Wait, they didn't give you a pallet of Liquid Death to your house?
Distro must have messed up. Oh, he drank it so much.
You know what?
Say I drank
it was admin only.
Oh,
you got the pallets.
All right. Well, we'll have to work on that. I have another announcement to make. So before we get into today's episode, a milestone, I believe, happened for Quarter Life Critics, followed by another milestone.
Back B2B milestones.
B2B. So
this is huge for us.
This happened yesterday, in fact. So
a recent achievement.
Our last episode, everybody knows, Inside Out, episode 34. Go check it out, YouTube. Bam, bam,
# banger.
I got a notification, ding, on my phone, and I said, "Whoa,
who's that?"
And I looked at my phone, and it was a comment. I said, "Oh shit,
we got a comment?
More spam?" No, in fact, this individual left a real comment that I'm going to read. It said, "Okay, wait, are we taking movie recommendations or does the guy on the left get to pick everything?"
Are you the guy on the left?
I think so. So I was thrilled. I was going to reply in real time today. But if you go to that video, the comment's gone.
It's deleted?
It's the account has been deleted as well. So I believe when you delete a YouTube account, I think your comments get deleted too.
Why'd they delete their account?
I don't know. The 404 cannot be found.
So I just want to take
some sort of like AI training to engage with content.
Maybe. Sounded pretty real.
Legitimate.
I mean,
I just want to take, I'm gonna call it a real comment. In my eyes, it's a real comment. And I just want to take some credit because I felt a little bit roasted by the guy on the left with my movie choice, but obviously I was tapping into the algo.
That's
Inside Out 2 just released. You gotta tap in. You gotta ride the wave. That's 6 more than we normally.
One of them was that guy. So I mean, to answer his question, yes, leave comments. I'll take a movie rec all day. And 2, I put our names now in our YouTube live, so you can refer to us by our real names.
I had my license as my background too for address. If you want to mail me something
for verification.
Mm-hmm.
So, they didn't see that part. That's for Patreon only.
Yeah, you gotta start paying. So
we have a whole discussion on there about
cherry
whether.
Blossom.
I was just gonna say on Patreon, you can subscribe, and we have a whole discussion on there of whether it's worth it to opt into a real government ID. I know, very thrilling stuff. So, but you have to log in to check it out.
I think you have to have a real ID to even sign up for Patreon. So some people might have trouble. But blue cherry handle blue cherry blossom. I see your comment. I appreciate it. And
sincerely,
I
guy
hope
on the
you're
left.
alive. Yeah, sincerely.
Did Blue Cherry Blossom ever subscribe, or was it just a comment?
I can't tell. I have. I did not see a subscription notification.
Subscription email.
Yeah, so I'm guessing no. Can't even see who's subscribed. YouTube's all messed up. I don't even know what the hell's going on. Okay, all right, but thanks for indulging my introduction tangent. Today we have a good one, like I mentioned. So, as you know, every episode we pick a director to guide us down this philosophical, entertaining, humorous, yet deep line of thinking on each piece of media. And this episode is none other than myself. So let me just pass the baton to my other hand. And for this episode, I chose Safety Last, 1923. So I'll let Grant tell us a little bit about the film.
Did you say 1923?
Oh, that's pretty old, man.
1928.
That's over 100 years old.
My grandma's not that old.
This is a silent film, made in 1923. So if you haven't seen a film this old, you might be saying, what if the characters want to talk to each other? What happens then? They flash, a nice frame of words. So there's still dialogue, just because it's silent. And there is music and accompaniment, which traditionally was played by a live orchestra. So what you hear, I think, matches pretty quick, or pretty closely to what they would have performed live with these movies. It syncs up more than you would think. There's definitely kind of sound effects through music. So pretty cool. Still, although it's silent, it's very engaging. And this film, Safety Last, 1923, it's a long time ago. It's about a boy moving to New York City, the Big Apple. He needs to make enough money to support his girlfriend, Mildred. But he soon discovers that making a living in the big city is not easy. It's harder than it looks. So he's working as a textile customer service, sales, all the above. He's working at a textile store, just helping out customers. And he hears that his manager would pay $1,000 to anyone who can draw people to his store. So the light bulb goes off. He just saw his friend scale a building to run away from a cop. These guys are no good criminals. They aren't really, but he convinced his friend, whose nickname is the Human Fly, to climb a building to attract all these bystanders in front of the store, and then he'd split the $1,000 with him, which I think we calculated $1,000 with inflation would be maybe around
$75 million.
Million dollars?
I think it was like
that's a lot of money.
$11,000, something like that. But when his pal gets in trouble with the law, he must complete the crazy stunt on his own. So the climax is really Harold scaling this building.
A little under $20,000.
A little under 20,000. It was directed by Fred C. Newmeyer and Sam Taylor. It won the Library of Congress award. I guess it was the Library of Congress. No, this is not an award. Library of Congress added safety last to its National Film Registry in 1994.
A type of accolade.
Yeah, that is an accolade. I thought the Library of Congress adds every single piece of literature and media to its archives.
What do you think it is? Wikipedia? Our government can't afford that.
I thought that's the whole thing the Library of Congress does.
Every single movie that comes out, they just put it in there in the film registry.
The historical thing, yeah.
It's like important works.
8.1 out of 10 on IMDb with a whopping 23,000 votes, which is, with inflation, what's that number?
Nearly 400,000
60 million
votes.
The budget was $121,000, and
which is
nearly like 40 million, I think.
And the box office was 1.5 mil.
Milli.
Made $3 trillion on
that's
like
like $4 billion.
1.5 million. It's 10. It's a 10 times.
10xer. It would be a wise move to invest in this film. You would have made a lot of money.
Get in now. Safety last. Invest early.
All right, safety last. Thank you, Grant, for that synopsis of the film.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's move to our first segment, named Quiet Time. Quiet Time, where we're gonna have to whisper this entire segment. So, silent films, guys. Grant seems to know a lot about silent films. Have you watched other silent films?
Yeah, I've seen other ones. So this kind of era, I didn't know Harold. This is the first film I've seen with Harold Lloyd, but after watching on Max, I saw many other Harold Lloyd movies pop up. So I know he's very. I guess he's he's known for these early films. I know Charlie Chaplin is known for early silent films, and so is Buster Keaton.
Yeah, I think they get the most credit.
Yeah, I haven't heard of Harold Lloyd, but I think they're all in the same kind of boat. So I've seen a handful, not more than like 10, but I think they're all good and they all hold up. And as I was kind of explaining in the synopsis, I think they hold up more than you might think. You hear silent film and you think, oh shit, I'm gonna have to watch some reels on Instagram while this movie runs in the background. It's gonna be so boring. But no, it's fine. It's good. Like I said, there's still dialogue and the music's pretty engaging. If anything, it kind of has like a Saturday cartoon energy to it, right? So if you liked the cartoons as a kid of Tom and Jerry, they're not speaking in Tom and Jerry, there's just music and animation. So I think it's something similar here, especially with the physical comedy. There's a lot of physical comedy in cartoons too. So maybe I'm making a connection that
it's like a cartoon.
It's like a cartoon. Yeah. So
have you ever seen it in its, you mentioned traditionally the live orchestra, where a band is playing to do all these sound effects in the background music. Have you seen it in its true format, Grant? I feel like out of all of us, you might have had the most chances.
I have not, unfortunately. I don't know if I even would have had the chance. I think that'd be something you'd have to seek out. Maybe your local orchestra would put something like that on. I know they have like Lord of the Rings with an orchestra, but that's not silent film. So I don't know if they would do just a traditional silent film. I think it'd be hard to find. But on that track, a lot of people wouldn't consider watching a movie at your house, cinema or film, and they would say the art medium requires an audience with you to watch. You can't just watch at home. That's you're taken away from the art form. You need audience members around you, which I don't know about that. I think that's kind of a antiquated idea at this point.
I will say with some of the comedy watching this film, I felt it might have been a better experience laughing with other people. I mean, you get some chuckles, or maybe we'll talk about how funny or how hard you laughed, but due to the silent nature, I think might have been a better experience if you had a whole group of people just laughing. Look at that. Patrick, what is your background in silent films, sir?
I don't. This was my first.
Ooh.
Yes.
Were you not looking forward to it? Were you like, oh shit, this movie's a century old?
Yeah, I was not looking forward to it. The old movie, silent, black and white. Not. I saw it was short. That was redeeming,
Yeah, felt better.
Yeah.
And what was the experience like? What was, expectations versus reality in Gen Z talk? What was going on there?
I was happy it was short. It was all right.
You have your reels open, your Instagram reels.
I was scrolling. I was trying to do something, but yeah, I couldn't.
You were scrolling?
You're going to jail. You're going to movie jail, dude.
They should have maybe. I don't know. I was pretty bored.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hey, you want honesty?
I appreciate the honesty.
Do you think that may be an indication of our attention span these days? Isn't it good? Isn't boredom a good thing? When has boredom become such a negative thing?
I don't know, Grant. I'll say for myself, watching the film, I tried to go in with no expectations. Like I said, the background to this is I remember, well, it's actually in this house because it was going to my grandparents' house. They had like a TV and like a VCR player, and I think they had this on VCR, and it was like always playing. So I remember watching it in like bits and pieces. This film.
Wow.
And it's funny because all that gets stuck in your head, even as a kid, was like, oh, he's on the clock tower, he's climbing the building. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot more build up, and the first half of the movie doesn't really involves a little bit of climbing, but I went into it kind of no expectations because I didn't want to get my hopes up, and it was a more enjoyable watch than I think other older films. I liked Grant's example of like cartoons where I think it's engaging. I'm watching it. It's good. It's not like kneel over, crying, laughing at all times, and it's not like the most dramatic thing. It's just I thought it was a fun watch, and it was very easy. Hour 20 flew by, and I could see why it held up, I guess. I mean, I'm interested in what some of the other bad ones that like did not stand the test of time, like what did those look like? Because I think this is kind of heralded as one of the best. But
Yeah, well, I think, you know, when you think about like films and how they started, largely, um, it's like showing off a technology. Like I think seeing moving pictures, like there's famously, I think I think it's known as like the first movie ever screened is like, I think it's the Lumiere brothers. Um, there's a train scene where the train's coming at the camera, and they said, you know, you read about reviews written back then, they're like, everyone like jumped out of their seat and like ducked, because they're really, it was such a new technology. No one was used to seeing any sort of moving pictures, right? They were called moving pictures. So I think the bad ones were probably No Story, and they don't hold up now, but they were just kind of showing off, like, I think just kind of menial, ordinary kind of scenes, but it was still very interesting. You know, maybe even just seeing like a international city, like they had, that would be crazy for them. They have no idea what, you know, what an international city will look like. No one's going to travel there like their whole life. So this will be the closest to like experience and be immersed in something. So I think early film was not about plot for a long time, and so the ones that survive, the ones that we're watching now, are probably the more plot based ones versus kind of just ordinary moving pictures, kind of like a museum exhibit or something.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think maybe it comes down to entertainment, where you have the sort of plot and it's also just like funny at the time. It's a lot of slapstick humor. It's a lot of the same joke too. There's a lot of, I mean, whatever this, I don't know what you call it, like the switch, the fake out, where like
The bait and switch.
you thought I took the other coat, or I took the baby instead of the suitcase, or uh the money going into trash cans, and I pushed the wrong cop. Like, it is that same joke, just 6 or 7 times. But some of them work, and I guess when you don't have dialogue, actually some of the dialogue's pretty funny. We can get into that, but I guess you have to rely on more physical humor.
Pretty hard to be funny without words too.
Yes. Speaking of, actually, one more thing I wanted to talk about with, we mentioned the title cards, and I think they're also called intertitles. I don't know if you noticed. I went on some crazy rabbit hole dive when, like, sometimes there's hyphens, sometimes there's like underscores, sometimes there's like 3 of them. Did you guys notice that at all during the film?
I noticed they weren't really like uniform, but I don't know why. I felt like sometimes they were just like a little different too, like even just the sizes of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to make a long story short, yeah, there is no consistency, and I don't think there is any meaning to it. So it was weird seeing it once. I think Celia like pointed it out, and then I started looking at it for every title card, and I was like, I don't know. Does it mean? Because sometimes they're just straight underscores, and you're like, why are there underscores in there? But it actually
the font
was
changing
weird
too. Like
the plot was changing.
The font and like.
Oh yeah.
Like it was just weird. Yeah.
I did have another crazy AI moment where it was like Boomer versus whatever Gen Z Alpha, whatever bleeding edge AI Celia, where I was trying to Google. I was like, where, like, what do the different 3 underscores mean, and blah blah blah. And literally, I watched her. She just took like a picture of the. We paused it, and she took a picture of the uh, title card, and like just asked like ChatGPT like, what do the 3 dashes mean or something, and it like spit out this whole thing, and was pretty accurate on like what the meaning was. Didn't really get into the details of like what the specific 3 underscores mean, but then she was like, what movie is this from? And it's like Safety Last, stars Harold Lloyd, blah blah blah. Like, it just knew everything from a
Wow.
picture there, and I was like, oh, I got
Well, now Google like will provide AI in your Google search. So
yeah, they do that
even if you do it
now.
old school, and most of the time it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So we're forced to use ChatGPT, even, or Gemini, whatever their AI is. The only thing I want to say about title cards is I thought it was clever at the end when his friend was running away, and he's like, "I'll talk to you later," and then the title card is like, is his dialogue, and is this Vegas? He's so far away. I laughed at that. I thought that was funny.
That was good.
I think these films are because of the technology or lack of, like, there's a lot of creativity in stunts, in writing, and trying to be entertaining. So that's an example of it. And so that's a lot. That's a lot of fun, and I think fresh, and something I noticed more so than with modern films. You're just like, oh, that's like smart, that's creative, because how else would they do that, and so that's something that watching silent films now, I feel like is not, it's like when George Lucas, the way he filmed the texts, I forget what he did, but I think he like shot down and they pulled, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I knew sweet. Yeah, it's just it's smart little hacks. You have to like problem solve and doing little engineering hacks, which is kind of fun to take note of. So that's a little fun plus for silent films that I feel like you miss out. Too. Yeah,
like all these expensive solutions, CGI and everything. When these directors were doing like real stunts in like a rig set for like couple $1,000.
Find a way. I also wanted to ask you, Patrick. I know you may have not liked the film. You were scrolling. I get it. You made it. I'll keep your secret safe with me. But as far as historical human society portal that you can view in, 100 years ago, this is a century ago, were there anything, this is just in general, were there things you liked about times back then that you noticed, outfits, interactions, dialogue, things that you said, oh damn, it must have sucked back then, everyone had to do that, or maybe things that you forgot about, you go, oh shit, I forgot 100 years ago people had to
I thought hats. The newspaper thing was cute. Like the whole point was to like get them in the news. Like the stunt is to like get them in the newspaper.
Like a real life guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, it's like cute
going viral.
And innocent,
Very believable. I mean, that would have happened, I'm sure. That's how everyone finds out about what's going on.
Yeah, some Black Friday kind of, things just not really changing that much, some like when the whatever the textile store is busy, it's like got some Black Friday vibes with everyone grabbing and being rude to each other. The things that maybe were a little bit more lost, it's just like the lack of communication, feel like you can't.
People on their phones all the time now. Just.
Yeah, you can't. You gotta like write a letter.
It was
Every day,
probably
to your
exciting to
woman.
get that. Yeah, get that letter, little gift,
Mhm.
open it up, really craft what you're gonna say. Wonder how the angry letters worked. You're like, you rotten wench, I despise your utter being. You cheated on me.
There's
I
some
feel like
teardrops
most
in there.
time it's like therapy. It's like as you're writing that down in a letter, then you're like, I won't send it, or
Then you
what?
burn
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you burn it.
Postage is so expensive these days.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But like
delayed gratification though, for sure. I just was thinking, talk about guerrilla
Yeah.
marketing. I think, the whole audience, like someone scaling a building was so entertaining that you would have a whole block of people come out and watch it, and they're just all sitting in the bottom just watching.
Looking
Like
up.
that's the most entertaining thing going on.
Yep.
Like that's the hot
Talk of the
thing going
town
on.
in the
Yeah,
city too.
but we have so many resources. We so much fun now that
Yeah,
we
now
can have.
we can watch Mr. Beast climb 100 buildings by himself. I don't know.
On
I,
a green screen.
I liked a couple things. Sometimes I really forget, like, everybody wears hats. Everybody has a hat. It's probably a lot of hat, just culture, getting a good hat. Who's got what hat? Girls with
Harold had
blue
a good hat.
hats.
I
He had a
liked
good
Harold
hat.
hats.
Yeah, he had a great hat. It was important. He was always getting it too. Every time it came off, that was like first thing he had to grab, get your hat back on.
I watched it with my significant other, and he did the ambulance thing where he needed a ride back to work.
Yeah.
And so he played dead or fainted or whatever, and
Mhm.
his hat fell off. And she was like, "Oh no, are they gonna forget his hat?" But they grabbed his hat.
That was the
and put
first
it
thing.
on him.
They grabbed
Yeah, they
that.
grabbed his hat and put it on. You can't leave a
Um,
man's hat.
Yeah, I don't know if it's related to people must have just like stunk, and people were probably sweating nonstop. That's what everyone's wearing nice fancy clothes. I can't help but think like, damn, dude, people are probably sweating.
Yeah,
Hot
well, and I
city.
feel like you don't have that many fancy clothes. You probably have a
You got
jacket,
one
a
set.
nice
Yeah.
shirt. You probably have a bunch of like undershirts,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some undergarments and some socks, but you got
Just
like a nice shirt, nice jacket, and and then you see, I think everyone's making their own clothes. Like these textile, like all these women are fucking buying fabrics and then like making clothes
Even the
like
guys were
themselves.
like darning their socks. They were like fixing their socks at the beginning too.
Yeah.
You just gotta take care of your couple things.
Now you can just go into Sheen and buy
Whoa, yeah.
as much clothes as you want. Get shipped directly to your door overnight.
Fashion haul. This my tops from blah, my bottoms from blah, my earrings are from Zara. Lastly, I just wanted to call it. I loved that even 100 years ago, they were still fucking tabletopping people.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yes, that's so great. Yeah, push them down. Just a classic prank.
Classic.
Timeless.
What did he know the other cop? I think I missed that.
Yeah, they had like a title card where they had an interaction. I think they lived in the same town. He knew the other cop, and so he was gonna play a little gag on him, and then they switch out at the last minute. And
Classic
said,
switcheroo.
Yeah,
Classic.
I never saw that one coming. All right. Speaking of funny things, guys, I want to move on to our next segment called. Now that's a knee slapper. Get it? Oh, that was a good slap.
Thanks.
Where we will basically describe or show our favorite slapstick comedy joke. There's a lot of physical humor in this film, and we can share. But it doesn't, if it's not physical, that's okay too. If it's funny, it's funny. If it made you chuckle, especially if you didn't really like the film that much, and there's like one part that made you laugh, please share. So I'm gonna be the teacher. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh, I saw 2 hands raised. I'll go
Great.
with you,
Patrick,
Grant.
why don't you? Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
you're on the line.
I'm on the line.
Your mic's hot.
My mic is hot. So this one is, I think, why it follows the same kind of vein what I was talking about in terms of creativity. So this one I thought was very funny and creative. Is while he's climbing the building, which is like, what do you guys think? Was that the last 40 minutes? I feel like that was the
Last
second half of the
third.
film. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Last third of the film. And there's a lot, it's kind of a little cyclical at this point. He's climbing the floor and oh no, he's gonna fall. And what, you're kind of it's getting a little stale. I'm feeling like how or is he gonna not almost make it? Like there's a mouse that climbed up his leg, and oh, why is there a mouse on the side of the building? But it's he's scared, and you're supposed to be on the edge of your seat a little bit about whether he's gonna make it up or not, and so they're getting creative with what he's running into. And they show the floor above him. What's happening inside is like a photo shoot, and it's a guy with a prop gun taking some like Western, shoots, and they have the old school like flash. So you like light this thing on fire, and it kind of explodes with it's some chemical, and it that's your flash. It like makes a big boom and lights up the room, and right when that happens, you capture the photo because they didn't have batteries or modern flashes. So it's this guy with a prop gun, and they show that him doing that, and you're like, all right, yeah, cool, he's doing a little photo shoot. And then our main character Harold is climbing up, and he opens the window, and all he sees is a pistol, and then the flash goes off, and he's like, oh shit, like someone's like shooting at him. And so he jumped and almost fell off the building. But that to me was not only very creative, but like it's a build up, and you're like, what, this is interesting. And you're taking, also it's like old technology, right? So you're kind of like, oh, interesting. Yeah, this is old photo shoot. What's happening here? And then gun, flash, Harold almost falls off, and I really enjoyed that. I was laughing.
So the mouse was not getting you. You were like,
the mouse would be. I know The Prom was my favorite slapstick comedy. This would be like, it's the whole jump the shark thing. I'm like, okay, this one they ran out of ideas. Someone in the
really
writing room,
like,
came up with the photographer, and they're like, that's
building
golden. They're like, we need one more. Sounds like a mouse goes up his leg. Perfect. It's in.
done. Easy. Thank you, Grant. Our next student, Patrick. What made you laugh when you decided to not look at your phone?
I did like what did you call the pushover? The
Tabletop?
Yes, the tabletop. I thought that was funny. And then the little climb getaway. Just because that is a classic. I kind of did like the mouse too, but it is what it is. Could have been better. I agree.
It was funny. It's just like ridiculous. They're reaching the point where like everything that can go wrong goes wrong. It's like when he reaches the top of the building and that thing's spinning, and you're like, is he gonna hit it? And he like goes up and then down and goes up and down, and then he like falls off the building. Like, oh my gosh, you're just
getting
like
slingshot around.
It's ridiculous. It's unrealistic, but it's a gag,
It really
Everything was so sturdy back then. Even just them hanging on their coat racks. I cannot imagine a coat rack supporting me.
Well, they had nails at the bottom. I don't know if you saw them. So they put their feet on like nails, like long nails.
Even still, I don't know.
That was smart.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what the hell? Like I thought too. I was like, how could a coat rack hang you? And then I saw, there's some placements for their feet.
I did not catch that.
It was in black and white. It's okay. I had to squint. Another one that is not mine, but I was thinking of timeless jokes was the kick me Chalk.
Classic.
You guys like that one?
It is a classic.
It's a classic.
I just liked how he got himself.
Yeah, it just keeps happening. Like everybody.
It's funny because it's like you can't turn it down. Well, I guess the only people who did it was like a kid and the drunk dude. I think everyone else like didn't kick him, but the drunk dude was like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Kick me!"
This is the best day ever.
Drunk dude was very entertained by himself.
They really were hammering. I guess just the town drunk. I have a little clip of mine. Actually, I have two little clips where I'll just show it. This is where he's climbing the building, and we talked about the mouse, we talked about the gun, but there's another one that's just a hardcore obstacle that really takes a professional to avoid, and I'll show it here. Oh, it's the net. So at some point, the net's dropped on him, and he's climbing the building, and he really is struggling with this net here. It's on his hat. He can't really move.
Oh, the hat comes off. Wait, need the hat.
Always gets on first.
Oh no.
His body. His feet are getting stuck. You can check this live on YouTube, guys. Great visuals. And then the guy says, "Why don't you take that net off? It's in your way." So that was very funny, hilarious.
Well, and just wait, right? Like, I'm assuming is your other clip net related?
It is very net related. It happens about 10 or 15 minutes later near the end of the film, where the net has fallen to the ground and reaches
drunk
another
guy
individual.
This is
He's having a very hard time. Really just frustrated. And just can't get that net off.
Mildred.
So that was my favorite. Which I think still falls under slapstick. I think anything physical.
The drunk guy was pretty funny.
The drunk guy?
Yeah, the drunk.
Yeah.
He was good. He was a lot of entertainment.
Expressive.
Trying to think what else he did.
He talked to basically himself because he was talking to like mannequins like through the store window.
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't really remember what else he did. Just your typical drunkard behavior.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for sharing. Let's move on to a new segment. How they do it. Oh my God, guys. This was made in 1923. Released then, maybe filmed the year earlier. There wasn't a lot of CGI, guys. They had to get creative.
There's
no
CGI.
There's
no CGI.
There's no C's.
There's no C. There's no G.
There's not.
There is some A, I guess. There's some animation in the world, but
CGI.
Sorry. CGI. What am I thinking? CGA. All right.
I'm thinking AI or something.
Yeah, I got AI.
Animation intelligence.
On the noggin. But I wanted to use this as an open forum for. We've kind of already talked about it, about how they had to be creative with a lot of the shots. I wanted to show off one little GIF of, I think it's a clip from a documentary on kind of how a lot of these building scenes were shot. If you guys have any idea, but I'll just show this off and let's see if this works.
I did my own research.
Grant is too good. He's too good.
I did the extra credit, teacher.
Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen, teacher.
All right, so this is
It's
the
not full screen though.
This is the
There we
iconic
go.
um, clock tower scene when he's hanging from the clock tower, and this is kind of like, how did they do it? Look at those are real cars down there. Those are real downtown LA buildings, which kind of look the same today. It was all one. You guys basically lived here too when you visited. This was all First to
Mm.
7th Street. These are all
Jewelry district.
jewelry district. Basically Broadway, Spring Street. These are all streets that we probably walked on. Graham was walking on them very late at night. But let's see how they did it, because he looks pretty high up there. Oh, he's hanging from there. Oh my! Oh! He's falling. Oh! What's happening? Oh, let's take a pause. Whoa! So they basically built a lot of the scaffolding and just lifted themselves up even higher on the roofs of buildings,
On the roofs.
and got great sick angles that were pretty convincing, I'd say.
I think very convincing. I watching this film, another reason why, I was wondering how they did this. And if you look at some historical films that you've heard of that have like withstood the test of time, I felt like with these older films, a lot of the times was a new technique was done and showcased. So I didn't know if this was a film where they had filmed the downtown and then refilmed this scene and then superimposed and edited the film
That would be my
together. I
first
didn't
thought.
know. That was my first thought, that they did some old school editing. Back in the day, you had, when you said edit, you're literally going with like a scissors and tape and you're editing film by hand. So I thought it was something like that, but yeah, it was just perspective based, which is still very cool. Like that was a very good visual to see, because I read the wiki. I was like, okay, so they're building on taller buildings and they're just keep on going on buildings. I mean, they still have to. It's impressive because they have the same view in the back the whole time.
Everybody's up there. I mean,
Everyone's
you're
there.
filming on the roof of a building.
Yeah. So that was impressive, and that was a cool visual. So they just built the whole set on rooftops for entertainment, for pure entertainment, for us viewers.
Hollywood.
To watch
bastards.
100 years later.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask our resident expert, our SME in climbing, Patrick. How were his climbing skills? Did you recognize some grips? Was it totally unbelievable what some of the maneuvers he was doing? Some of it looked kind of crazy, but I said, could a real climber like do those things if he could climb?
He was doing pretty good. He was solidly driving his hips into the wall. Which is climbing number one.
Okay.
You put your hips to the wall. His arms were pretty much remaining extended, so you can endure longer.
Like vertically, or what do you mean by that?
You just don't want your like 90-degree angles, so like more muscle, more like energy is used if your arms aren't straight. So he was keeping his arms straight. That's good.
So extended, Quinn.
Okay. So
Doesn't
this
matter
is
which
using more
direction.
energy. You want to keep your arms up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was impressive that he was doing it in what I presume was leather-soled shoes. That's very slippery, as I noticed in Atlantic City. So that's what I was thinking of, just taking the leather-soled shoes up the side of a building.
Yeah, you were sliding for sure.
That's what it does. They slide. That's all people had for.
He had no chalk either. There was no chalk. He was raw dogging it.
Hot. He was probably so sweaty, like what you were saying.
The nerves. My palms were sweating a little bit just watching a little bit. So thank you for sharing. I thought one of the more interesting. We're gonna have a little trivia here in a bit, but one that's not related to the trivia game was I think it's actually the most helpful trivia on the movie which I'm just going to read out because I thought it was interesting that the stuntman Harvey Perry revealed for the first time in the television documentary Hollywood in 1980 that Harold Lloyd actually climbed well, we talked about the fake building facade. Harvey Perry also revealed that he doubled for Lloyd in the long shots of him climbing the building in the distance. Up until then, even in the Time Life version of Safety Last that was aired on PBS, contained an opening title declaring that Harold Lloyd climbed the building himself and without the use of stuntman or trick photography. The stuntman chose to suppress this information until Lloyd's death, and yet he did not want to detract from the danger of Lloyd's actual stunt work, because Lloyd did most of the stunt work himself in a lot of his films, I guess. But I thought it was kind of crazy. There's a big old lie. Say, I did it. No one else. Kind of like it's like if Tom Cruise came out, he said, you know what? All those times I said it was me, wasn't me. Well, Tom Cruise would have to die first and someone else would have to
That's
say
crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
That's like some Hollywood elitist too kind of mentality where you're like, I'm not fucking letting the stunt guy get any credit. I did it.
My image and likeness did it.
Yeah, I mean, still, I think incredibly dangerous. I mean, I don't know, you fall 2 stories, bounce off that mattress, whatever, right onto the curb of this. Well, you got to fall a bit, then you hit the sidewalk. All right, so we kind of talked about how they did it. All right, we got just enough time, guys, for a little competition. Did you guys bring your noggins?
Wait, were there any other shocking truths, Quinn?
Shocking truths?
Did you know the forget what Lloyd Webber, whatever his name is?
Harold Lloyd?
Yes, he only had 3 fingers on his dominant hand.
I did see that he was
climbing with a prosthetic glove on.
Really?
Yeah.
And in all future, I think it was in 1919, he had some freak accident where he was doing some sort of photography thing, Grant, like you said, and they handed him a flash thing or something, and it was just like a bomb. I don't know, it just went off. And
Took
he
his
blew off.
fingers off.
2 fingers, like
That's
thumb and his...
Probably some
His
PTSD
index?
from the flash. And his thumb.
Those are the worst ones to lose.
I think
Yeah,
it was
your right thumb and
yeah.
index finger, putting him in the hospital. I think he like went blind too. They said he was never going to see again.
Oh my God.
And he eventually recovered, but then wore kind of a white prosthetic glove in that movie and all future movies he ever did for the rest of his life.
I was trying to look for it, and you could kind of see it, but it was pretty good.
I did not go back and check, but I didn't notice anything.
But makes his dedication to fake stunts even more impressive, maybe.
Seems reminiscent of the Iron Claw. You're missing a leg, prosthetics. You still say, I can do it.
Oh, true.
All right, let's move on to a century of wisdom, guys. This is going to be a head-to-head battle between the two of you to test your knowledge. I'm going to keep a score on my end. It's a very simple trivia game. It's going to be 5 questions, which you will answer. And I'll get your answers, and I'll reveal the correct answers. And in the case that both of you are tied, there is a tiebreaker question.
Yes.
So there will be a winner tonight.
Yes.
On this episode of Quarter Life.
How could we tie with 5?
2 unknown.
Both of you, you're going to answer the same questions. So, no, I mean, like, it's not a speed thing. I see. This is a knowledge.
Hit me.
All right, let's jump in. All right. All right, our first question. What happened first? The release of this movie or the first Academy Awards ceremony?
The release of this movie.
I'm gonna maybe I could find some thinking music while we all think. Dance daydreaming.
I will. also say the release of this movie.
And then stop. That is correct. This movie was
Good job,
released
Grant.
in 1923, and the first Academy Awards ceremony was held in 1929. So just missed it by 6 years.
Yeah, I would have seen. I think he would have been nominated for something. At
Other than the
least
U.S. Senate.
the Library of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Was that some hip hop thinking music?
That
Yeah, so
movie's
let's
called
put that on
Feeding the
next.
Ducks. All right, we'll put it on next for this
Okay.
next. This one might require more thinking. All right, so the next.
What about
question-
feeding?
Yes,
Thinking.
feeding
the
your
duck-
brain.
Feeding
for
the
thought.
ducks. Feeding your
Food for
brain.
thought.
Here you go.
True or false? The Academy Awards used to include an award for best title writing.
Title writing?
The title cards that we saw
Mm,
in the film.
False.
false.
The answer was true. Oh, sorry, I
Please
didn't
give
play the
anyone
thinking
awards.
music. That's probably why you guys got it wrong, because you didn't have enough time to think. So-
Time to think.
So the first Academy Awards in 1929 included an award for best writing title
Was that
cards.
the first and last time?
It was the first and last time they had
Yeah,
it.
because it's
Grant,
dumb.
Well, not because it's dumb. It's just because talkies became all the rage afterwards. You know, silent films were.
Dumb.
I thought
his
talkies
fate-
were like 40s.
That's it stabilized and improved by 1932.
Okay. I didn't know. I just
But the first and only time. So Joseph W. Farnham was the only man
Farnham.
to ever win that award. So
Legend.
why don't they have them today? What-
Best
'Cause
subtitles.
stupid. All right. So
What does that mean? Like best dialogue, like best penmanship?
Because they're like funny.
yeah,
I
but
think it'd
that's
be kind of funny.
isn't.
I
best
guess it would be the
writing?
same as best writing, but like best
Dialogue.
dialogue, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like I think, I mean, you saw they used creative ways to
Yeah.
show them different fonts and sizes and
All right, I got to see this movie that won it.
yeah, the whoever
Joseph
guy that won
Farnhouse?
them.
Yeah,
I actually
Joseph-
don't know how
Joseph's
like a person
Farm?
won it. It was not like a movie. So he must
guy
have been pretty good at writing title cards.
He could write the cards off the titles.
All right,
That's
so
his
it's,
legacy.
it's
He's
tied, guys.
being his name is being spoken 100 years later. That's pretty impressive. All because he did some title cards.
One thing. He's like, yes.
He did him so good.
Or he might have lost his job too once they're like, we don't need these things anymore. Your job is useless.
No, I can write
I'm
anything.
the best title
I can write
card
anything.
person in the world. Get out of
The
here.
award. What's an Academy Awards? All right. Question number 3. All right, and I'll be sure to play the music this time. True or false? Harold Lloyd, the main character, ended up marrying his co-star Mildred Davis in real life.
I'm gonna
True.
abstain from going first. Okay. I'm gonna go false.
The answer is true. Patrick, you get a point. Yes.
They had some synergy.
They
I could
actually
tell.
married a couple months before the movie
Wow.
was released, and
Mildred
they remained
wanted
married
him.
until her death in 1969, and they had 3 kids. So, Patrick's in the lead with 2. Grant, you're gonna have to do some more thinking next time. All right, question 4. The last true or false question. Harold Lloyd, the main character, his roommate Limpy Bill was a real life stunt climber.
Sure, true.
Well, I feel like I have to go false in order to get the lead, in order to get tied. So I'll go false.
The answer's true. Good
Hell
job, Patrick.
yeah. Thank you. You don't have a name like that and not be a real stunt climber.
So, Yeah, in a way, this movie was pretty meta. So the origin of the film kind of was Harold Lloyd watching Bill, who in real life is a stunt climber, climb the building. And so he's, got the idea to climb the building in the movie. He's also he just married or just about to marry Mildred in real life. So it's very meta, this film. So Grant's gamble didn't really pay off. Patrick has now secured the lead. I think secured the W, but let's continue with the last two questions just for funsies. The last question was, name one of two famous films where a main character hangs off a clock tower, paying homage to Safety Last.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, this was one where I was like, "How am I gonna?" One person gets it.
Is that
Stuff for the other person?
There's two.
There's two films, yes, though. I don't know if you've seen this other one.
Can you give me a?
It's got Jackie Chan in it.
Period. Oh. Fast and Furious.
No. Project A. It's like, I haven't seen. So in both films, yeah, they hang off a clock tower, and I think and they both kind of fall, and the catches by the thing. So Pat, that was great. That was actually I don't know if it was ever gonna come to you, Grant. I kind of forgot that one was a little unfair. If
He just underestimated you.
well, you already got the dub, so kind of. All right, and lastly,
For all the
funsies,
marbles.
all right, yeah, double or nothing. This one's it.
I'm in.
You guys, I think Grant has a little bit of an advantage. Sorry, my mic is
No, you tell me.
falling down. Oh my God. Yeah, I know, right? All right, we're gonna have
Is
to
your
go-
mic stand?
It's falling over, so we're going old school, like a game show host.
All your marbles.
This one's
Contestant
for
one.
all your marbles, guys. You're gonna really have to be doing some thinking for this one. We talked about how this film is very old, 100 years old. So I wanna see if any of you guys know this. So in the movie, Harold Lloyd made $15 for 6 days of work in 1922. According to two inflation calculators I found online, $15 in 1922 is worth how much today in 2024? And we're going to play by
$380.
Price is Right rules, If you go over,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, hold
now we're going to
on. $280.
Do you type it in, or are you doing your head?
who, Patrick? I didn't see his hands on a keyboard. Lo-fi. In
How much?
space?
15?
$15. Dun.
235.
This thing's totally broken. All right. So Patrick says $280. You said $235.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of this question is Patrick Manning. The correct answer is $280.51. Oh my God. How did he do that?
Well, I looked it up earlier when we were looking at the $10,000 because we were talking about what
Uh-huh.
or 1,000. What was the prize money? And it was like 18x. So
Damn.
quick math, bada bing, bada boom.
He did quick math. I'm sorry, Grant. You lost the double
I lost
Jeopardy.
everything.
You lost
I just shit all
Lost
over
it
you.
all.
Your
I
house
lost it
is
all.
being taken away. I have a classic game show mic now. Well, congratulations, Patrick. You are the winner. Let's highlight you, and maybe we need some dance. This isn't very dancey. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2.
Is it gonna start? Oh, there we go.
I hope so. It's getting there. Here we go.
Copyright free music. Not very good.
Very good. All right.
Wait,
Hard
it's
to
almost.
dance
It's
to.
almost. Wait, keep it.
All right, I'm keeping it.
It's got it.
We'll
All
give
right.
it. This is Pat's
Thing
time
right
to
here.
shine.
This is it right here.
This is my prize. Oh.
Oh, we got
cool.
kick drum.
All right, we're all. That's the only background
Sounds
I
like
got.
your first
You're in the waves.
project on GarageBand.
Here we go.
Oh, it's all coming together.
Dun, 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 dun. We like to win. All right, Dance Pop. I
Turn
think I've had
this
enough
shit
of you.
off.
You're done. Turn off the blue waves. Turn off the music. Congratulations, Pat. You're the winner this
Congratulations,
time.
Patrick. It was close to the end.
It was Snail Biter.
Oh,
Could have gone either way.
yeah, it was for all the marbles. So
It was. Lastly, before I forget, oh my God, our last segment. I know we're running long, but we got the one, the only GPQ patented review where we review whether the true rating of Safety Last is over or under the IMDb rating. Is that the one? I think it is. I think it is.
Fair enough.
And with we've said all that we've had to say. We've talked about the funny. We've talked about the not funny. We've talked about the cool hats. Let's go around. Are you an over? Are you an under, Grant?
8.1.
8.1 with what are we even voting against? Yes, 8.1 with 23,000 votes.
I just remember from doing the intro. 8.1, 23,000 votes. This is. I'm gonna go under. It's good. There's a modern scale these days. It's. I think it's a good silent film. I think it's an
Yes.
8.1 maybe out of 10 on silent films.
Silent film
but
scale.
for a film, IMDb, this film, I think it's. Yeah, it kind of feels like its own. It's not really a movie. It's like it's good.
It's a cartoon.
It's like a cartoon. It's good. Like it does what it does, but I don't know. Like if you're in the mood for a film, I don't think this.
Which this was
You said
not.
under, not a film. Next.
Next. I mean, I enjoyed watching it.
8.1's high.
For
8.1's
what
high.
for what it was, right? Like knowing what it is, I think 8.1 compared to other silent films. Like, there's probably some really bad silent films out there, but when you're talking about like all films, 8.1, like this is over a lot of films, and it's like historically,
They've had 100
yes,
years to
like
the comedy.
I think, I think a lot of these older films, like historically, they get some props, but that doesn't mean they're a fantastic film that everyone needs to watch before they, kick the bucket.
But then all the youngins are going to say, oh my God. When someone else hangs from a clock tower, they're going to go, oh, Back to the Future. They're copying Back to the Future. That's where it came from.
Actually,
Safety
Last with Harold Lloyd in
1923.
That's a really good voice, Quinn.
Thank you.
It
That's
was.
who would say that?
It came almost too naturally, one might say.
I don't know what you're talking. All right,
Yeah.
Grant, under. Patrick, what are you
Under.
giving?
I'm going under. 8.1 is a high bar. It's hard to be 8.1 in black and white without dialogue. So even if it was the best silent and blew me away, I don't know if it would get me there.
And it's hard to
It's like a missing sense.
Mhm.
You know, there's like
So
you're,
much
like,
of the
using
story,
an iPhone 6. You're like, there's a lot of cool features, but like,
or like a BlackBerry, you know.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to watch, like to rate a film like 8.1, like when you have to look past your cell phone to the screen while you're watching it.
Oh,
That's true.
yeah, he might have been DQ. There might be a GPQ DQ
I mean,
Award.
self-selected. Like, if the
Yeah.
movie's good, I will. The vote goes away.
Well, we'll get to the
Litmus.
right after this.
Yeah.
There might be some pressure on some good films. But
people.
anyways,
For myself, I'm gonna go under as well. I think 8.1 is pretty high. I enjoyed the film for sure. If I was in some weird multiverse where they played this randomly on TV, I wouldn't turn it off. I think I would watch it. And I really like the cartoon analogy where it's just kind of straight. It's like reality TV. It's just kind of entertaining and good, but like not the best. I don't know. I think you should watch it. I think it's very accessible and a cool glimpse into the past.
yeah, I think what I was kind of stumbling around trying to figure out what I want to say when I was rating this, but I think it's better than you expect in your
You
head.
might think, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
100%.
when you hear this and you're like, there's 45 minutes of him climbing a clock tower. I don't want to watch that. It's. I mean, if you're, it's better than that. It's pretty entertaining and it's cheeky and it's funny and it's creative. Better than
The music
expected.
helps a
Still
lot.
under. Yeah. There is.
Well, I
I'm
don't
trying
know.
to think
Are
of
you
like.
still raw dogging your TV? You
Well,
playing-
Wait,
Prime
did you go under or
Days.
over?
I
went under. Oh, you got a sound bar for Prime
Soundbar is
Day?
coming in. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
With a sub.
Oh, a 2-1 system.
Double downer.
Oh,
triple
We
downer.
don't. What is a double downer?
I don't know. It was the only one that we had.
I think it's when I said over and you both said under, probably in one of those scenarios.
Why didn't it just be like a 1 upper 2? It's not like a
What's our triple called? Triple
triple
pickle?
pickle.
But
Pickles are
because
good.
this is
We're gonna have to take this one to the drawing board. All right. Well, we have 3 unders for a relatively good movie. So that just goes to show you the power of the GPQ review. You could say 3 unders, but you go, you know what? I'd still recommend it. But 8.1 is
what
just too
about
high. It's just too high.
an under blunder?
Under blunder kills you bad dog.
There's a
Rough.
bad dog. No, see, this is the dog was good. The dog was better than you thought the dog would be. Just then you had Rocky looking so perfect, and you picked Rocky instead.
Who's the bad dog?
The movie Bad Dog.
Believe it. All right, so 3 unders. Let's wrap it up with what's happening next time. Who knows?
One second, I gotta watch. I'm pulling up a reel really quick.
You got a reel. Oh shit!
I'm just kind of. Wait.
Oh.
Wait. Let
We're
me.
doing-
I got
Oh,
it.
sorry.
It's me.
we're watching a movie.
Oh,
It's
Who?
me.
wait.
1
second. 1 second. Yeah, I'll call you back later.
Yeah.
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 What's
It's all
up?
good. We make time for distractions in life. It's my turn. I'm picking. There will be
It's my turn.
There will be
It's me.
dialogue. We'll
What
return
reel are
to
we
the
watching?
bangers. I don't even have Instagram. Thank you very much. I am going to select something that I've never seen. And you guys probably have seen it. It's a movie that I should have seen. And we're going to journey through it.
You should have seen.
It's summer. We're in Jersey City, Jersey Shore. There's a source of a legend arose. And we are going to see one of the takes of an American horror classic, a summer blockbuster. We're going to Jaws.
Jaws.
Jaws. Dun, dun, dun.
Jaws.
Especially when
I
they say the
haven't seen
Warriors.
Jaws actually, and I've wanted to see Jaws, so this is perfect.
Mm-hmm. It originated in the Jersey Shore. Like that's where the Long Beach Island was the source of the attacks that inspired the kind of first shark scare in America.
Really?
Really?
I believe so. Yeah.
Long Beach
Um,
Island or Long Island?
Oh, that's a good question. And I'll be back with that information when I'm hosting my episode.
Cliffhanger.
Yes.
Because I know just from experience, every single year going to school. Oh, you go to Long Island? Oh, no, it's Long Beach Island. It's a different island. It's different. It's farther away. And less celebrities go there.
Oh man, is Long Island technically, is that New Jersey though, or is that New York?
uh,
Long Island.
Long
Isn't
Island,
Long
I think it's in
New
New
York?
York.
It's
but-
Long Beach Island.
Wow. Nice.
Yes. 1916.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't worry. It's the
That's-
Jersey Shore shark
Patrick comes
attacks of
correct.
1916.
I totally
Wow.
If you're on your phone, what do you do? I forgot you're unplugged from social media. What are you consuming during the middle?
Honestly, like nothing, dude.
If you're on the weather app.
Yeah. I'm just like, I just don't want to be here. I'm dissociating.
That's crazy. All right.
It is, yeah.
Well,
Jaws.
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 Classic.
1975.
1975 thriller film directed by Steven Spielberg and
was
based on the
26 when he directed it.
1974. That's crazy. 1974 novel.
I'm
I
old.
didn't know it was based on a novel.
Oh, let's not give away all our secrets, guys.
I do this every week. I literally give a synopsis of the film.
Said I didn't know it was based on a novel. Doesn't sound like a synopsis to me.
It's the first line of wiki.
Continue, Grant.
Based on the 1974 novel by Peter Benchley, stars a police chief with the help of a marine biologist and a professional shark hunter hunts a man-eating great white shark that attacks beachgoers at a summer resort town. That's all I got.
Thank you, Grant. I want you to take us away.
Thank you.
Tired of holding this mic.
Thank you all for listening. We will see you in 2 weeks with Jaws. If you want to follow what we do, if you want to leave some comments on our videos, we have an Instagram where we got everything. It's like our central hub. You guys like hubs? You like things that are centralized? Well, that's our Instagram. Quarter Life Critics is our handle. So just Instagram.com/quarterlifecritics. You can go to our bio, see our YouTube channel link there. You can see all of our posts for what we do. And go ahead, subscribe, please. The guy on the left and the right and the middle will appreciate it. So thank you guys. And we will see you next time with Jaws and our next director, Patrick Manning. See you guys.
Guy in the right.
Peace.
On the left, peace.
Peace.
Down the middle. Peace.